I just had the craziest race of my life. Crashes, helmets flying off, and rain pouring down, and full on bumper car chaos. All in a preseason rental kart race. This is how it went.
Hey guys, welcome to TF1 karting circuit, and it's super wet right now, and we're here before the round, I think round 4 and 5 of the Saudi World Series race. And well, it's only 8 a.m, so why are we so early today? Well, because of this. Yeah, I'm a cameraman. To fund my racing, I do camera stuff also, so this isn't really my first race of the season because, well, it's rental karting, so it's not really a professional race. It's more like a pre-season race for me. My first real race will be in around a month or so keep a lookout for that. So yeah, we'll hop on to some onboards of me taking camera photos or starting qualifying. I don't know, we'll see.
So, jump on board with me as I got you mounted right on my helmet. But before we get into qualifying, let me explain the race format. We start with qualifying groups A, B, C, and D. The best lap times from there determine our race categories where diamond, gold, silver, and bronze. After that, we go into a 6-lap pre-final which sets the grid for the final race. As for me, my goal is simple: don't finish last. I haven't properly practiced in Saudi karts for over 3 months and haven't raced in these karts for 5. Going straight into qualifying with zero practice should be a disaster, but here we are. Yeah, so coming out of the pits now, right behind Ezra Neal, who is a really quick driver in the wet and in the dry, and I decided that I wanted to follow after him. Nothing much really happened in qualifying, it was just a bunch of hot laps, so I'm just gonna jump to my fastest lap. Yeah, so there wasn't really a lot of grip today either, so in the first session, everyone was struggling. Everyone was around 3 seconds or 2 seconds off actually from the actual position in diamond. So yeah, our session was really slow, so it wasn't really good for me either, since I was so long out of a solo cut, and honestly I think I just drove like shit. But yeah, you can make your own judgments. I'm gonna stop talking so you can enjoy around 1.5 laps. Yeah, so in the end, we qualified P11 out of 24 in Group A, which puts us in silver at P15. Honestly, it's not the best result I was hoping for, but without any practice, it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it now, so let's get into the pre-finals. So yeah, now you join me at the starting grid of the pre-final silver race, starting P15, with my friend Brian starting next to me in P14. As you can see on my visor, it actually started raining quite heavily, I would say. And I was actually really happy because in the rain, I was always fast. Anyways, we get to the start of the race now, and I get a really poor start actually, as people start overtaking me left and right, or just left actually. And here we go, right guy, and he has a mega start. Oh my god, that guy is fast. And yeah, and we just get to bumper car section. I just get pushed off the track, and the shower clap pushes me off the track. 31 just bunches his way through, and oh my god, commenting to this life is just crazy to me. That is a spun guy right there. Surprisingly, that is actually quite a substantial amount of grip. So if you'll see in a few laps later, right, I was still able to take a dry line throughout most of these corners, but everyone just almost understand the wall as I'm speaking. Yeah, and everyone thought it was very wet, and everyone started poking curbs and stuff. But as you see, cut number 22, he took the dry line and he was basically fine. Yeah, and just chaos into this corner as I had to take the grass as a runoff. And yeah, and we fall back to almost last from P15 here to almost P, I would say. I forget now, and I don't know whose fault that is. I assume that he just turned into me. More chaos and serious. It's just all bumping cards. Oh my. As you can see, I'm shouting my helmet. It's like I was so confused with what's going on. I haven't raced solis in a long time, and I forgot honestly. And some guy just goes straight into the wall, and this car spinning everywhere as I take the curb for better rotation. Oh, it's just crazy at the start. There's only 6 laps to this race, so it was vital for me to gain as much positions as I can for the final. As now I start realizing that the line is still pretty dry, so I start taking corners much faster as I get overtaken here on the right hand side by the carbon helmet guy, cut number 26, and I get trained on by cut number 22 also, and 13. So yeah, not the best for me as I lose even more positions from the start, and yeah, even one more now through Tilka corner around here. So yeah, not the best of starts for me, and not a really great way to start 2026 racing. Honestly, there wasn't much I could do, as I feel I took this cup so much, my speed just slows down by so much, and I just get gapped again. And as we have a kart spun on the apex over there, and the kart just drifts across and I hit him, and I get T-boned, and that hurt like fuck. So yeah, well, now all the way down, second last I believe, and yeah, from this point onwards, I just told myself, just drive balls to the wall as someone just spins out because of the rain. I think we get overtaken here, yeah we do, so we just get overtaken here by car number 25 as we got a poor exit, and he just spits himself out. Honestly, I have a lot of pace in the rain. I just feel like in the wet, in this chaos, I am not able to capitalize as, something random like a kart hitting me or someone just slowing down and just ruining my line and ruining my exits is what's stopping me from being, driving at my max potential. Anyways, I'm doing my best to catch up to the great pad ahead of me as I'm around P20, let me check. So yeah, just not a great race. I was around P20. Yeah, so this is not a great race, so far for me. I'm just looking to, cut my losses and overtake it again, which sucks, I tell you that. So yeah, I think I would say, okay, so this out of 24 drivers, right now I will be around P23, so it's still second last as a guy just shunts himself into the wall because of car 22, who is so slow at this moment. So yeah, up to P22 now, just trying to catch up, doing my best to take the curbs as well as possible to get as much rotation as I can as I try to hook the curb. No, cut 22 just has a much better exit than me as he took a wider line and has ability to rev better. And you can see I'm trying to let go of my wheel to see if my car was damaged as I took quite a big hit just now, and I realized the steering cord was bent because when I let the car go, it just started steering by itself, which is not normal. And actually I made quite a good comeback in this race because from 23 at one point. I actually finished, I believe, P14 to start the final. Yeah, P14 to start the final. So, yeah, as you can see, I'm catching up very quickly as I realize I can take the dry line through most of these corners. You can see how the drivers like the curve, but I just take the normal dry line here. And I gain so much time as I go into the braking zone. Someone spins in the middle of the apex. I take quite a good advantage of it by trying to cut off the other driver to car number 2, but he just comes back with much better exit. But at least we still gain the position. As the driver just drifts, Tokyo drifts himself out, and I get sandwiched again. Yeah, so things like this just really screw me over every single race, and as you can see, I'm not really happy about this, and I'm just trying to come back. Taking the curb again, going for the overtake as the car number 2 just absolutely screws over that guy. And I got off the throttle because I didn't know what was going on, and then and car number 28, kind of capitalized on my slow exit and overtook me right again. And all of a sudden the rain fell hard and I lost all grip, so I had to change my driving style very fast. And I think because of this sudden rain, I was able to come back much faster than anybody else, and that's why I managed to finish P14. It's because I adapted to the situation faster than anyone else. As you see, we go for the overtake here. There's a spine cut over there. Yeah, see just how much better I was able to take the corner than everyone else, but again, a spine cut destroyed my exit. But yeah, through this corner, another spine cut actually, and there's a piece of a go-kart right on the floor right there. So yeah, as he sets himself into the abyss, I got another position and I started defending against this driver. Yeah, leaning to the outside, trying to get as much grip as possible to be able to turn the car, rotate the car, and ask the guy to work with me so we can move forward together. And there's another spot cut there. The shout clip. Let's call him that. So guys, let me know in the comments actually if you prefer a live commentary of my reaction to my own races, or would you like a sort of like a planned script. I prefer this method, but let me go estimate overtake down the inside. At this moment, I would say I'm around P20, P19-ish, I don't really know. Because honestly, there's just so much going on that you never know where you are. And there is a guy in the wall. Yeah, in this few races, you would see a lot of people in the wall because honestly, if you didn't know, right, we're driving so easy with slick tires in the wet, so it's insanely hard to drive because any lockup, any misbrake, or even a tiny steering input wrong, right, could send you straight into the wall because you just start understeering and you have no control whatsoever. So yeah, and he bins himself again and we get another position. So yeah, just by staying out of trouble, just by just not shunting yourself into the wall, we managed to climb back positions. And I think we're in P17 or P16 now. As you can see, the amount of understeer we get, you can hear the tires just trying to turn, but nothing's working. And we have a crash right ahead of us. Let's see if we will be able to capitalize. Nope, he just pulls away. Yeah, overall, I would say the end of this race is going not that badly. Well, yeah, it's not going not that badly because we managed to climb back all positions. Anyways, it's the end of the race now. Finished P14 as I wanted to tell the guy behind me to work with me, but the race already ended. So overall, P14 we gained 1 position, which is not that bad. So welcome to the starting grid of the finals in Silver, round 5. Starting P14 with Varun and I believe cut 24, which is Ezra, right? Cut 20, sorry, with Ezra right in front of me. So yeah, this race was chaotic and there was a good outcome at the end, which you have to watch to see. Anyways, here go race start as I get another bad start. As they go 5 wide into turn 1, chaos ensues and I take the runoff. Just more and more contact every single race, but I gained a few positions from that as somehow Varun ends up in the grass. and even more contact. Like, people don't care about how they're driving, they just want to gain positions. This is why, you know, I don't like doing solo races as much, because there's never clean driving, and yeah, it's just not fun when people don't drive cleanly. As I make a very, very good move down the inside there. There was a slight bit of contact, but honestly, I don't think there's anything I could have done to avoid that, and it was just a small tap, so it's not that bad. But speaking about that, I don't think I'm the cleanest driver either, but I do my best as kart 25 just barrels into kart 24, I believe, that with the red helmet there. As I try to cut to the inside, but I just understeers. Ezra also spins out there, and I get overtaken by kart 25 and 24. I believe I was in P8 or P9 here as Ezra slows me down, but luckily I don't lose any positions as I keep pushing. Pointing to the guy behind to work with me and try to overtake as many guys as possible with me. And yeah, in the background you can see many cars just spinning, as the last corner is probably the hardest corner to take in the wet. Most people don't know this, but you need to mount the inside concrete or inside curbing to get the best rotation, as Ezra pushes me into the wall actually, and I almost ended up in the wall. But yeah, I haven't driven in a wet for, I would say, almost a year now. The last time I drove in a wet would be, well, not a year, maybe last year September, as I was not happy with Varun with the way he pushed me off the way just now. So yeah, I got overtaken by kart 12, so I would think I was in P10 here, as P1 just he's gone already. Like, I couldn't see him from my perspective, as I took too much curb here and just went straight off track. And P9 kart 19 is also a really quick driver, as I try to take advantage of the spun driver to cut off kart 19's momentum, but he just goes straight in front of me. At some point I realized that taking the inside curving for Gain City, which is the hairpin corner, isn't the fastest way around, as another kart bumps into me and I was not happy about that. Yeah, so even though I gained positions, I felt like if I don't do something about it, I'm gonna lose even more. So I will cut to the just spin so I gain another position. Yeah, so as I was saying, even though I gained positions, I started losing, and in racing, if you don't move forward, you go backwards, that's what Brem Masavada says all the time. So yeah, I was just doing my best to be as aggressive as I can cleanly, as Varun just crashes into the wall. As I also felt that my kart was a bit low on power actually, so I had to mitigate that with my own driving as I go a little bit off track, and you can argue that it's track limits, but I didn't overtake anyone, so I think it was fine. As kart 19 drifts wide that corner, but he gets such a better exit than me that I wasn't able to overtake him. Anyways, around this corner I hook the curb, I do my best to power, but as you can see, he just pulls away as I saw so much understeer, and I do the same track limits thing, which, looking back at it, I don't think is allowed, but no one caught me. So I took the Gain City correctly this time, and I managed to cut off kart 19's momentum. But I believe going outside around the concrete is much faster in terms of lap time, but going down the inside is a good overtaking move if you do it correctly, which I just did finally. Yeah, signaling to kart 19 to work with me now to try to overtake the kart in front of me, which is kart number 20, who goes straight into a wall, and now we have a drag race all the way into turn 1. And yeah, you can just see how much he pulls away at the top end, which is not fun, but I managed to overtake him still into turn 1 and turn 2, as it takes a lot of balls to take that corner in the wet, as it's really scary, because one mistake and you're in the wall. Well, that's the same for every single corner. As he switches back me, well, yeah, should have defended more in that corner, but just drifted wide. And when you drift wide in a Sodi, it's really hard to swing back and stop the cut back or switch back. As I go wide again this corner, It's honestly really hard to drive in the wet. You need a lot of skill and practice and a lot of track knowledge to be able to drive slicks in the wet. Because knowing where all the grip spots are is something that only comes with experience and um, track knowledge. As I take the inside, as I try to recreate my move, but I think I fail here. Yeah, I fail here because I didn't cut off the path fast enough as Varun overtakes me with a drifting move. As he goes wide and I go wide because you're supposed to hook the inside curb, but I didn't do it properly. Yeah, almost get overtaken by kart 90. No, I do get overtaken now. Yeah, so I lost around, say, 2 to 3 positions already in like 1 lap, which is not good. But I come back on kart 19 as he goes wide. And now again another drag race as I get bumped by kart 19, which is a good thing. So I could get ahead of the kart 20, I believe, as now I'm trying to chase down Varun, but yeah. Going super defensive into this corner as Varun shunts himself into the wall, but somehow manages to keep it going as he pulls again away on the top end, which is, yeah, just not fun for me. I get a better exit than Varun, but as he cuts across and just kills my momentum, but he goes wide as he didn't take the line correctly, and I managed to do a dive bomb on him. So yeah, I believe at this point we are up to P4 as P3 is right ahead of us, and as I said again, P1 and P2 is just nowhere to be found. Like, I do not know where they are, and you can't see them either on the onboard. It's just crazy. I think that's P1 actually in the background. So you're just chasing down the car ahead of me, and it takes some time for me to catch up to him, but the race is actually also coming to a close. There was just, I believe, a few more laps to this race that we could use to overtake a driver. So yeah, as I'm just trying to hype myself up to keep pushing, and yeah, as you can see, 3 laps to go. So yeah, as we come on to lap 9 now, the second and last lap of the race, and yeah, we're out on the tail of kart 17 now. Yeah, we've made great progress in catching up to him, closing around 3 to 4 seconds gap to a few tenths. Let's try to make the overtake here. I was briefly ahead, but he comes back for a better exit. I was also very cautious with driving around him, as any mistake I make or he makes will lose both of us time if we get into a crash together. So yeah, just trying to be on top of things, and over here I think I was quite scared because he was quite close to me and thought we were gonna crash, so I decided to slow down a little bit. There were other opportunities for me to win this race. I mean, to get P3 in this race, to get on the podium. Yeah. So yeah, as he took the dry line, the line was actually already fine. So he got a much better exit than me, as I tried to use the concrete to rotate better, and I just gained so much time on that. As I try to use as much curb as possible, and I'm now right on his bumper as we both go wide, and we're almost side by side now onto this straight, but he gets a better exit on the concrete with better grip and traction there. So I decided to send one Hail Mary down this corner. I outbrake him, I take to the curb, and I get the overtake done. It was a little bit illegal because I was technically off the track, but hey, no one's complaining. Looking back at it, I think it was a bit of a foul move, but yeah. As we get onto the last lap board shown there, I was just trying to be defensive. I was also very scared that, you know, I was gonna lose this, because as I almost go into the wall and I'm checking if he's trying to overtake me, but luckily he was far enough behind for me to not get the overtake done. As I went wide in this corner also, and he's right there. You might not be able to see him, but he is right there, so I go super defensive in this corner. Thankfully, the driver behind me, he was a very clean driver, very respectful of racing, and you know, he didn't try to just punt me off to get his podium position back. So yeah, we kept it clean throughout these few corners, and yeah, just around a few more corners to go before we get our first ever podium in sprint. As at this moment here, you can see him just try to attack me, and I thought he was gonna crash into me for a few seconds there, but luckily all was good. And yeah, after this was the last corner that I was scared that he could overtake me at, as I knew I was strong in the last corner. So yeah, after this, I pretty much knew the podium, the P3 was in the bag, unless I get reported for that move, which is kind of illegal. Yeah, as you see, we round the final corner, going up to the main street, and we take the checkered flag. I pumped my fist. I was so happy and so relieved that in the first race of the season, we get a podium. Yeah, so P3 from P14 made around 11 places overall, which is very, very nice. Sportsmanship showed between the both of us as we go for a fist bump, but he almost understood into me. Yeah, so overall, very, very happy. So yeah, P3 overall. Not bad. Not bad for a first podium. So yeah, we got this little trophy over here, and it's my first sprint trophy, as my other trophy got broken by my dad from the endurance race that I did, that I got P3 also as a team. So if you guys want to support me, I will appreciate a like and a subscribe. And yeah, next race is in a month, and see you there.